What's going on, folks? I'm going to show you how you would change out your brake pads. This is pretty much the same process you would do on a 2013 to all the way up to a 2018. This happens to be a 2014 vehicle, but the process is pretty much the same. First thing you want to do is always practice safety first and put your jacks and your jack stand up underneath your vehicle and make sure it's nice and secure. Next, once you take your wheel off, what you'll see is this right here. We're actually working on the passenger side of this vehicle right here. So when you get down to your caliper, which you have to raise up to get your brake pads off, if you try to turn this screw right here, you'll notice this right here is also going to turn. So what you may have to do is take like a pair of vice grips or a wrench or something and just hold this screw with this bolt right there. Then once you do that, on the passenger side, you want to turn down like that. You want to turn it down, and once you do that, you should be able to take out your screw that goes in your bottom of your caliper. And what you will need to do that is going to be a size 14 socket to take out that bottom screw. Once you get that bottom screw out, now what you can do is kind of watch your brake line and just kind of spin it up like that, and you'll be able to see your brake pads right here. You'll notice you have these pins right here, one at the top and one at the bottom, so you want to make sure when you put the other ones back on that you put the pins back in. So remove these pins. Notice that the top one is facing down, the bottom one's facing up. Just kind of pull it out like that. Just kind of want to pull it out of the hole like that. This one goes at the top facing down. Then you want to do the same thing at the bottom. Just pull the pin out. This one goes at the bottom facing up. Once you've done that, now what you got to do is kind of go in here, kind of just wiggle your brake pads out like that, both sides of it. Now once you have that done, what you may notice is you may need to actually change out your caliper right here, but not change it out but push it back in. So what I like to do when I'm pushing the caliper back in is take my C-clamp. Let me grab that. I like to take my C-clamp and take one of the old brake pads like that, kind of put it on top of your caliper. Yeah, put it on top of your caliper like that, and then make sure that on the back of your caliper back there that you're not hitting your brake line or nothing like that. But once you have that, just take your old brake pad and kind of push your caliper back in, which is what you're going to want to do, because if you don't press this back in when you put your new brake pads on, it's not going to go back over top of your brake pads because this caliper is pressed too far out. As you can see, I got it pretty much pressed back in. Now that I have it pressed back in, next what I'm going to do is go ahead and put my brake pads on. Alright, so now I'm going to grab my brake pads and kind of want to match them up. You want to make sure that these holes like that are facing out, because those are the holes you're going to be putting those pins in. Make sure those holes are facing out like that. You're going to put those pins in. So then you just want to take it, slide it, make sure like it's shaped the same way as your rotor is. You want to take it, slide it behind, and slide it in into the, just like that. Holes facing out. Same thing on the other side. Take it, slide it, just like that, and you're pretty much good. And then you just want to take your pins, one in this hole, like that, facing down. Then take your other pin in these bottom holes, like that, facing up. So it should look like that pretty much once you got the pins in. And once you have that done, you just take your caliper, drop it back over top of your, and right here, you want to make sure that when you're working right here, let me show you a better look, right here, that you push that in, like that. So I press that in, so that can go back over top of it. And then you want to take your caliper screw, you may put it back in, and you may want to take your vice grips again and hold it and finish tightening that up right there, and pretty much you'll be good on this side. So you have to do both sides on your brake pads, and also be sure that once you get done changing your brake pads, that you always pump your brakes before you start driving, because you want to make sure that your caliper pushes back out to make your brake pads make contact back with your rotor. Alright folks, once again, this is how you would change out your brake pads on a 2013 to 2018 Toyota Avalon. Please check out our other helpful videos and please subscribe. Thanks.